God declares your soulmate can't walk away from you anymore. The pull is too strong, the connection too deep, the spiritual magnetism too irresistible to ignore. What's happening right now, at this exact moment, isn't coincidence. It's divine law activating. It's cosmic force pulling two souls back together with impossible-to-resist intensity. They're trying to move forward. They're attempting to forget. But escape is no longer an option, because God has sealed something irrevocable between you. Stop doubting what your spirit knows. You've felt that pull, not gentle but undeniable. That magnetic tug in your chest at 3 a.m. That knowing that defies all logic, all reason, all evidence your mind presents. Others call it attachment. They dismiss it as fantasy, but you recognize the truth your soul whispers. This is spiritual magnetism operating beyond your control. It's real, it's powerful, and it's binding them to you whether they admit it or not. That ache you feel when you think of them, not ordinary longing, but compulsion written in your spiritual DNA. That certainty you can't shake no matter how many times doubt creeps in. That inexplicable peace beneath the pain, telling you something profound is at work. You're not imagining this. You're not delusional. You're tuned into divine frequency, transmitting truth your mind hasn't caught up to yet. I'm about to reveal why they can't escape anymore, what magnetism is pulling them back towards you. At this exact second, and the undeniable evidence that this reunion isn't wishful thinking. It's destiny already in motion, unstoppable, inevitable, sealed by divine decree. Listen carefully to this, because what I'm about to show you will confirm what your spirit has been screaming all along. That pull you feel isn't one-sided. They're magnetized to you, whether they confess it or not. The weight of your absence pressing on their chest, the compulsion to think of you that ambushes them when they're trying to focus on anything else. That moment at 3 a.m. when your face appears in their mind and they can't unsee it, can't erase it, can't move past it. That's not imagination. That's spiritual law transmitting across every mile, every wall, every defense they've built. The invisible thread connecting your souls doesn't weaken with distance, it strengthens with separation. You've seen the evidence everywhere, haven't you? Their name appearing 3 times in one day, not twice, 3 times, on social media, in conversation, on a stranger's shirt. Songs that meant everything between you two playing exactly when you're most vulnerable, when you're begging God for a sign. Dreams so vivid you wake up questioning which reality is true. Dreams where you're together again, and it feels more real than waking life. These aren't coincidences. They're divine confirmations that the magnetism is active, operational, pulling you both toward each other with force that increases every single day. You recognize this connection deeply. While others who've never felt soul-level magnetism call it obsession, your spirit knows the difference. This isn't about physical attraction or surface-level chemistry. This is about 2 souls recognizing each other across lifetimes, 2 frequencies harmonizing in ways that defy human explanation. This is about divine orchestration, working behind scenes you can't see. Invisible hands rearranging circumstances, shifting hearts, building irresistible momentum toward reunion. Your mind doubts because logic can't measure souls. Your mind questions because human understanding can't quantify spiritual force. But your soul knows because it's magnetized to theirs across every distance, every obstacle, every moment of separation. The fact that you can't move on, no matter your effort, that's not weakness, that's spiritual law you can't resist. That's proof the connection is real and binding. That's evidence you're not clinging to fantasy. You're responding to divine reality, operating whether you understand it or not. But here's what most people completely miss, and this is where everything shifts. When God creates a magnetism this powerful between 2 souls, human resistance doesn't just become difficult. It becomes spiritually impossible. Free will bends, walls crumble, defense mechanisms fail, because what God has magnetized together, no human force can keep apart. This person wasn't randomly placed in your life. They were divinely magnetized to your destiny, woven into your soul's blueprint before either of you took your first breath. The connection between you two was orchestrated in divine architecture, written in spiritual code that predates this physical existence. It's not romantic poetry, it's cosmic law. What God has bound together at soul level, no human decision, no circumstance, no fear can untangle. You wonder why this connection feels different from anything you've experienced before. Why it's stronger than logic, why it persists despite separation. Because God didn't create this connection for temporary pleasure. He magnetized you together for eternal purpose. This isn't about fleeting romance. This is about two souls assigned to each other in divine plan, two pieces of the same spiritual puzzle designed to fit in ways nothing else can replicate. That agonizing separation you've endured, it wasn't rejection, it was divine magnetization. God was building the force between you so strong that escape would become impossible. While you were healing, learning, growing stronger in faith, they were being pulled back to you with increasing intensity. While you were transforming through pain, they were being made unable to walk away. Both of you being refined by fire, you strengthening into the version ready to receive divine promise, them awakening to the truth they've been running from. Separation isn't punishment, it's magnetic charging. Like magnets pulled apart before the release, the farther the distance, the stronger the pull when they snap back together. God allowed space between you not to end the connection, but to amplify it beyond what weak human attachment could sustain. You were being prepared. They were being awakened, both being positioned for collision that's inevitable now. Pain isn't evidence of mistake. Pain is proof of irrevocable bond. If this connection were ordinary, you would have moved on easily. If this were simple attachment, time would have weakened it. But instead, every day of separation makes the magnetism stronger, not weaker. Your inability to forget them isn't weakness. It's cosmic confirmation that divine decree over your union is still active, still operating, still pulling you both toward fulfillment. You want them back now, I understand. But God is building something unstoppable, like celestial bodies on collision course written in the stars. When the orbits align, impact is inevitable. The stronger you both become individually, the stronger the magnetism becomes collectively. It's not delay, it's divine precision building irresistible force that nothing will survive opposing. Blocko 4. Trabalho invisível, força divina. Let me pull back the veil on what's really happening right now while you wait. While you've been strengthening faith, healing wounds, becoming whole without them, God has been amplifying the magnetism pulling them back. They're being compelled toward you, despite every mental effort to resist. Every distraction fails because the pull is stronger than entertainment. Every new connection pales because no one else carries your soul's frequency. Every escape route closes because magnetism is irresistible when divinely ordered. They're haunted by you, not gently but persistently. Your absence became their most persistent presence. That empty space beside them isn't just physical, it's spiritual void, screaming your name. They wake up reaching for you. They catch themselves mid-conversation, wondering what you'd say. They see something beautiful, and their first instinct is still to share it with you. These aren't random thoughts. This is magnetic compulsion, transmitted through spiritual frequency they can't silence. They've tried to convince themselves you were just another person in a long line of connections. But every attempt proves how catastrophically wrong they were. The way no touch feels right anymore because it's not yours. The way no conversation satisfies because it lacks your specific frequency. The way achievements feel hollow because the one person they need to celebrate with isn't there. They're realizing the magnetic pull is stronger than their will, their pride, their fear combined. God is showing them, through stark contrast, what life without you actually costs: the emptiness, the regret, the gnawing awareness that they walked away from something irreplaceable. They're learning moving on isn't possible, not because they're weak, but because spiritual force binding you is irresistible. They're surrendering to cosmic reality. Some connections can't be severed, some souls can't be forgotten, some magnetism can't be ignored. Their walls are crumbling, every defense they built against you, falling piece by piece. Pride telling them to stay away, being dismantled by longing they can't suppress, fear warning them not to risk again, being overwhelmed by certainty that you're worth every risk, logic insisting they should move forward, being shattered by spiritual truth that forward without you isn't forward at all. It's spiritual regression. God works simultaneously on both of you. They're being magnetized back to you with irresistible force. You're being prepared to receive them from a position of power, not desperation, both pulled from opposite directions toward the same convergence point. The collision is inevitable, both being shaped, both being positioned, both being prepared for reunion built on foundation that can't break this time. While you see only waiting, God sees orchestration in motion. While you feel only absence, God is building magnetic momentum that will catapult them back to you. Right now, at this very second, invisible hands are moving circumstances, opening hearts, removing every obstacle between you. Trust what you can't see. The spiritual realm is more active on your behalf than anything visible suggests. The magnetism isn't just theory. It's leaving evidence everywhere you look. Pay attention, because these signs aren't gentle suggestions. They're divine markers confirming the irresistible force at work. First, you're dreaming about them with supernatural frequency. Dreams so vivid they feel like spiritual encounters, like your souls are meeting in dimension where physical separation doesn't exist. You wake up and feel them, sense their presence, carry their energy into waking hours. That's not your subconscious playing tricks. That's soul magnetism operating in realm beyond physical limitation. Second, their thoughts magnetize your consciousness at random moments. You'll be focused on something completely unrelated, and suddenly, boom! Overwhelming thought of them floods your awareness. Not gentle memory, but compelling presence. That spiritual cord transmitting, magnetic connection activating despite physical distance. Third, divine markers appear with impossible timing, 111, 222, 444, 555, like cosmic breadcrumbs appearing exactly when doubt whispers loudest. You see these numbers right when you question if the connection is real, right when you consider giving up. That's God saying, I'm still working. The magnetism is still active. Don't quit now. Fourth, their name appears 3 times in situations too specific to dismiss. Mentioned by stranger, notification on your phone, billboard you pass. Not once, not twice. 3 times in rapid succession, like divine insistence you pay attention. That's not coincidence. That's strategic divine placement reminding you they're bound to you. Fifth, songs that defined your connection play at moments of maximum emotional vulnerability. You're driving heartbroken, begging for sign, and that song plays, the one that was yours, the one that carries your shared history. Synchronization too perfect to dismiss as random shuffle. That's God using sound frequency to confirm spiritual frequency binding you. Sixth, despite all logic screaming you should panic, you feel inexplicable peace beneath the pain. Peace that makes no sense given circumstances, but it's there, steady, unshakable. That's divine assurance. That's God whispering through spiritual knowing that the magnetism is working, the reunion is coming, the decree is sealed. Seventh, you suddenly feel their emotional state from miles away. You sense when they're struggling, when they're thinking of you, when they're breaking. You feel emotional shifts you have no logical way of knowing. That's not imagination. That's soul connection, transmitting across distance, magnetic cord, pulsing with shared energy. These aren't signs. They're evidence of active divine magnetism pulling you together. They're proof the connection isn't fading, it's intensifying. They're confirmation that reunion isn't uncertain, it's inevitable, written in spiritual code God Himself authored. Now when they return, and magnetism this strong doesn't break, it only pulls harder until fulfilled, receive them as equal, not as savior. Stand in your power, don't grovel. Don't diminish yourself to make them comfortable. Receive them with the authority of someone who knows they were always magnetically bound to return. This won't be repeat of what broke. It's resurrection built on foundation that can't crumble. Stronger because tested, deeper because separated. Unstoppable because divinely magnetized, beyond human capacity to resist. If this message hit your spirit, if you felt the truth of divine magnetism right now coursing through your awareness, if you recognize this isn't hope, but irrevocable truth, write in the comments, "I receive what God has already sealed." Declare it, speak it into reality. Your words activate spiritual force already in motion. Your declaration aligns you with divine decree already written. Subscribe to this channel because these messages aren't random. They're divinely timed confirmations arriving when your spirit needs proof that magnetism is working. The next video might be the activation you need, the exact word God wants you to hear, the exact moment you're ready to receive it. Don't miss what's meant for you. If these messages have saved you when you wanted to give up, if they've held you together when separation tried to break you, support this ministry. Your contribution fuels divine confirmation, reaching hearts on the edge of surrender, souls needing reminder that God's decrees are irrevocable. Remember this: that person can't walk away anymore. The magnetism is too strong. The divine decision is irrevocable. What God has bound at soul level, no human fear, no circumstance, no distance can separate. They're coming back. They can't help it. The pull is beyond their control now. They can't walk away anymore. God won't allow them to walk away. It's spiritually impossible now. The magnetic pull is too strong. Escape is no longer an option for them. They're trying to resist. It won't work. The magnetism is irresistible. Divine law operates whether they believe it or not, and it's pulling them back to you. The reunion is inevitable. The magnetism is irresistible. The decree is sealed. Trust it. Believe it. Receive it now. God declares your soulmate can't walk away anymore. And what God declares becomes reality.